What's going on, everybody? This is Brian from SneakerFiles.com, recapping the news. And before I jump into things, like always, greatly appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. Now, as for some of the highlights in this video, I have more stuff to leak. And from Jordan Brand, some of the highlights includes the Air Jordan 4 Bin 23 releasing during the holiday season. As well, we had the release of the Air Jordan 3 Middle East, and the Air Jordan 7 Tennis Day, which will drop in September. Now, there's more details about those three later on in the video. And we also have news from Nike, but the biggest thing from Nike would be the return of the Nike Air Bakin and Varsity Royal. Now, there's quite a bit more from Nike as well. And now, let's jump into the news. So to start this video off, we have two new colorways of the Nike Air Force 3 dropping in collaboration with NIGO. Now, Nike did send over a press release, and it is short, so I'm going to read it. Also, the title of this press release is important. It reads, Nike x NIGO unveiled final chapter in years-long Air Force 3 journey. So these two are the last pairs dropping. Now, I did hear about another collaboration with NIGO and Nike coming. Last I heard, it would be another Air Force model. It's not going to be the 3. I need to confirm the actual model before I leak it. I heard this a few months back. I haven't talked about it. I honestly forgot to get an update from my sources, but to read from this press release, Nike and NIGO are unveiling the final chapter in their years-long journey to channel the acclaimed artist's creative inspirations into timeless sportswear styles. The culminating expression of the Nike NIGO Air Force 3 takes on a collegiate homecoming theme, featuring Pendleton wool in a classic color palette that merged NIGO's passion for vintage Americana and Nike's historic connection to collegiate sport. The exclusive Air Force 3 also features premium leather overlays, Pendleton branding on the sock liner, and a chain-stitched Air Force logo on the tongue. The silhouette comes to life in forest green and midnight navy colorways, which pair seamlessly with matching styles of a reversible Pendleton wool souvenir jacket designed to showcase inbox patches from throughout the NIGO Nike Air Force 3 journey. The new Nike x NIGO footwear and apparel styles will be available in midnight navy and forest green beginning January 31st at humanmade.jp and in midnight navy only February 6th across sneakers and select Nike partner retailers. And the retail price for both, which wasn't included, will be $150 each. Now, this shoe has had several nicknames, and the latest is the Nike GT Future Metallic Red Bronze, and that is due to the colorway. But before that, it was known as Copper Egg, due to the fact that the pair somewhat resembles a cross between the Copper and the Eggplant Airfoamposite 1. The upper, which features metallic red bronze, it has an iridescent finish, so it somewhat shifts and reflects both of those pairs. Now, why I'm talking about them in this video, because recently I did talk about them, is that 1, we received the official photos giving us a better look, but 2, and more importantly, the pair has a new release date. So initially, the shoes were supposed to drop on February 5th. However, for unknown reasons, they have been delayed, and they'll now drop on February 20th, which, in my opinion, I feel is a bit better because the 5th is leading up to All-Star Weekend, which I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of sneakers planned to pick up. So people are going to be saving money. But on the flip side, I know people are also specifically collecting the Nike GT Future. So since there's so many pairs dropping during All-Star Weekend, I'm sure some of us will miss out on pairs we want. They may sell out. But having them release after that, if you do have money left over and you miss out, maybe this will be a pickup. I do like the colorway. I think it's nice. The only downfall about the model is the retail price, which is $200. I do feel it's a bit steep, but the colorways have been really good. For example, the Wale Nike GT Future Ice Blue, that was a really good pair. The Lightning colorway as well. Even the metallic silver pair. Unfortunately, I own 0 at this point. I eventually will pick up a pair, but I'm not exactly sure when. Maybe the PJ Tucker pair because he does have a PE dropping. As some of you know, the Nike Air Force 1 will take on the Nike SB treatment, and we have a handful of colorways dropping. One of those will be the Nike SB Air Force 1 in light Orewood brown. Now, photos have popped up in the past, but recently official images came up, which gives us our best look yet. Now, the official colorway is light Orewood brown, white, and pink foam. I did leak a mock-up of these months back. I was fortunate enough to see them, and as you can see from the official photos, the mock-up is spot on. Now, overall, I'm not a huge fan of the shoe, but what I do like about them is the pink foam used on the heel. I think that little touch is nice. The gum outsole is clean as well, but the addition of the gum outsole is to help with board grip. So that's why you see a lot of Nike SB collabs feature a gum outsole. When I say collabs, I mean more so crossovers like the Air Jordan 4, the Air Force 1, and so forth. Now, there is more pink foam which lands on the insoles. There's a unique graphic on the insoles. It's kind of hard to tell because they're in the shoes. The pair also features Nike SB up top. It appears that they are constructed with suede, covered in light Orewood brown, and then we have a white midsole. Now, I am waiting for Nike to unveil all of the tech that went into the shoe, which I do hope they do before they drop. Now, as for a specific release date, unfortunately, I don't know one, but a lot of sources are reporting that the pair is dropping in spring, which would mean a release will take place between January and March. However, when I initially put this information out and I talked about them, I heard this was part of Nike Skateboarding's Summer 2026 collection, which would mean a release would take place between April and June. Now, it is possible they could be moved up, especially since official photos did pop up, but once I find out the official release date, I will make sure to let you guys know. Now, the retail price will be $120. Speaking of official images also popped up of the Nike Book 2 Spiridon, and this is the first colorway that leaked, or I should say the first colorway that came out. I did a mock-up a while back. So far, we have 2 additional colorways that have already dropped. This will be the third, and the shoes feature a metallic silver, sport red, black and white colorway. Now, the inspiration comes from the Air Zoom Spiridon. Not just this particular colorway, but other Book 2s are also inspired by the model. But this one takes on not only the color blocking, the materials, and just the placement of everything. Now, what I do like about the shoe compared to the Book 2, because the Book 2 has been okay in my opinion. It's not great, but it's not bad. This colorway I do like, and that is due to the midsole. Also, the mudguard that wraps the entire shoe. It has a low profile. The swoosh with a shiny finish, another nod to the Spiridon. And the pair also features 3M reflective detailing. Quite a bit on this pair. I will include a photo so you can check that out. Overall, this pair appears to be sleek, and that's another thing I do like. The past 2 drops have been a bit bulky. It's still a low top. I know there was a period of time, because some photos did leak, that people thought the shoes would be released in mid-top form, but that isn't the case. And if you do like this pair, they drop on February 6th, and the retail price will be $145. It does appear that quite a few retailers will have them. Now, I'm not saying that there's hype behind this shoe, but if there is, I haven't seen it yet. They should still be easy to obtain just because the amount of retailers that will have them. We got a first look at the Nike KD6 All-Star Illusion. Now, we actually received a first look of this pair in kid sizing maybe 2 to 3 weeks ago. I didn't feature it because it was in grade school sizing and I kind of overlooked it. I could have shared it and probably should have, but these photos right here, they're in adult sizing. So as most of you already know, this is an original colorway, which first dropped in 2014. So this pair was part of the All-Star pack, worn by Kevin Durant as well during his 5th All-Star appearance, and the collection is also known as NOLA Gumbo League. So the shoes feature a multicolor green glow and black color combination, and as you can see, the overall look is on point to the OG. Now with these photos, we could see that the pair will also glow in the dark. So the swoosh will glow in the dark, underneath the tongue, the 35 on the tongue, and the outsole. And these photos really show that the glow-in-the-dark detailing pops. It definitely stands out. I never owned the original release, but I do believe that the glow-in-the-dark seems brighter on the new retro. If anybody owns the original pair and they plan on picking these up, it would be cool to post a picture on IG or something just comparing the two. Now, as for the release info, this pair will drop on February 27th. Now, the timing seems a bit off. Traditionally, All-Star shoes would drop during All-Star Weekend, but there's so many shoes dropping during All-Star Weekend, it's probably best that Nike did push these back a bit. I'm sorry, not push them back because they were always planned to drop on February 27th, but outside of All-Star Weekend, still in February. Now, initially, the retail price was supposed to be $140, but it's now $145. Just before the All-Star Weekend madness, we have the release of the Nike Air Diamond Turf 2 Fire Red, and this will drop a day before the Super Bowl. So we recently received official photos. About 2 weeks ago, photos started to pop up of the shoes, but the official photos are always the best. This is an OG colorway, and the shoes feature a fire red, white, black, and metallic gold color combination. They initially dropped in 1994 and was worn by Deion Sanders. I'm sure everybody knows that. At that time, he was playing for the 49ers. So we got a couple colorways inspired by the 49ers, this being one of them. And then the last time we saw this pair release was in 2012. So this pair is closer to the OG. It does feature 21 on the tongues. The last retro, it featured Air Diamond Turf, which the two other original colorways, it did feature Air Diamond Turf, but this colorway did not. It had his number 21. But I feel like the biggest improvement on this pair is the shape. The shape looks really good, especially if you're looking at photos from the previous retro. I mean, I would have been happy with the previous retro back then in 2012. But now looking at these, yeah, you got to do them right. And in my opinion, I feel like Nike did do this pair justice. Now, the only thing that could take away from this shoe is that it does not feature OG packaging. I'm big on the packaging. I believe the Diamond Turf, the first colorway, came in just some standard Nike packaging. You got to bring retros back or OG pairs with the packaging. I feel that just gives you the whole experience. But this pair will drop on February 7th, and the retail price will be $170. In this video, I do have quite a bit of exclusive news to share with you guys. And the first pair to go over is that the Nike Air Bakin and Varsity Royal will return during the holiday season. And in my opinion, with all the leaks in this video, this is number one. This tops everything from Jordan Brand in my opinion. But again, it's just my opinion. I'm a huge fan of this colorway. I'm a huge fan of the model. I'm very happy that the Varsity Red pair is returning. That pair will drop in fall. It appears that that pair will be limited as well. Now, for the Varsity Royal pair, this is also an OG colorway, and they first dropped in 1997. Now, I know this colorway didn't retro a bunch of times, but they've only released twice, and one time was the OG, and the second time was the first retro, which took place in 2008. I couldn't find any other releases, and I was scouring the web for like 2 hours. I really thought they dropped in 2013 or 14, around that time. There was a handful of Air Bakin releases during that time, but this wasn't one of them. So it's almost been 20 years since the last retro. That's insane to me. Now, this model is linked to Tim Hardaway, as well as Mitch Richmond and Kevin Garnett. There are commercials that feature Mitch Richmond and KG wearing this shoe. However, a lot of people always associate it with Tim Hardaway. Now, when they initially dropped in 1997, there was some controversy. On the heels, it featured Air, and the way it was written, it looked like Allah in Arabic. So the Islamic community was not happy with it. And eventually Nike would pull pairs off the shelf and re-release them with the Nike Air logo. Now, for the 2026 release, I haven't seen them. I've just heard about them. But I highly doubt we'll see the OG Air branding. I wish we would, because I think it's really dope. But I'm sure we won't see it. Now, the photos you're looking at is the 08 pair. And as for a specific release date, unfortunately, I don't have one. But these will drop holiday 2026, so sometime between October and December, and currently I don't have the retail price. Now, for the Varsity Red pair, I did talk about how they are limited in past videos. They're labeled SP, which means special projects. Typically, when the special projects team gets on a shoe, you already know that they're going to be somewhat on the limited side. Now, going even further, they're going to be released at neighborhood retailers. So not every Nike sportswear retailer will have them. I'm sure there will be some spots online. But yeah, that's for the Varsity Red pair. Now for the blue pair, I haven't heard yet, but I should be getting more information soon. Anyways, let me know your thoughts about the Nike Air Bakin and Varsity Royal returning in 2026. Moving on to Jordan Brand, and I believe about a month ago, there was a preview photo or a couple preview images of the Air Jordan 40 infrared, but yesterday official images did pop up, giving us a better look, actually our best look yet. Now, the colorway features black, dark gray, and infrared 2.3, and it's obvious that the inspiration for this shoe comes from the Air Jordan 6 reverse infrared, also known as Salesman sample. Now, the blocking does resemble that shoe, but one thing I'm kind of unsure about is that it looks like it features iridescent detailing, which covers the toe and panels. I'm not sure how that ties into the infrared or the reverse infrared Air Jordan 6, because that shoe obviously doesn't feature iridescent unless they're just using the color blocking. Maybe the iridescent detailing is a nod to the All-Star game. Flashy lights, something along those lines. I'm not entirely sure. I'm kind of speculating here. Now, the pair also features Nike Air branding on the heels. Dark gray covers the midsole. We got black up top. And the outsole features a mixture of red and black. These are really nice. I do like them. I still haven't picked up the 40. Eventually, I will. Now, unfortunately, we don't have a specific release date for this shoe, but they are expected to drop in February, and the retail price will be $205. Another pair we have official photos for is the Air Jordan 4 Valentine's Day, and this pair is decent. I like them. The official colorway is Pale Ivory, Sierra Red, and Tough Red. Now, like with most official photos, it gives us a better look. One thing I do like about the shoe, aside from the color blocking, is that the edges around the toe, you can see red. You can also see that the pair comes with the same style of hang tag that the Grade School Air Jordan 4 comes with. Also in these photos, we could see that there's lipstick kisses on the insoles, and it also covers the inside of the left shoe. Now, the red on the midsole, which has a metallic finish, that's a nod to nail polish. Now, each pair comes with a postcard, which I'm assuming is supposed to resemble a Valentine's Day card. It also comes with special packaging, done in all red, resembling the OG Jordan 4 box, but obviously different colors. And then the tissue paper also features the lipstick kisses across it. Overall, I do like these. I think they're clean. And as for the release info, this pair will drop on February 7th, and the retail price will be $220. In this video, I'm going to go over 3 different Bin 23 releases. In 2026, there are a total of 4. 3 of them we all know about. The 4th pair I'm actually leaking in this video, but we have a small update on the Air Jordan 3 Bin 23. Now, what's shown is a mock-up, however, you can expect the pair to resemble this as far as the blocking goes. Basically, it's a premium version. It does feature what looks to be some nice materials. Now, why I'm talking about this shoe in this video is that the release date has changed. But before I get to that, the official colorway is Team Red, Metallic Gold, Burgundy Crush, Coconut Milk, Smoky Mauve, and Gym Red. Now, originally, the release date was June 13th, but they have been pushed forward just a bit, and now they're going to drop on June 9th. The retail price will be $355, which is crazy in my opinion. Now, this pair will be limited. Only 2,300 pairs will be released. Each pair will also be individually numbered. And I'll be honest with you guys, I've seen 3 out of the 4 Bin 23 releases. The best one, in my opinion, is the 8. But personally, I feel that Jordan Brand kind of missed the mark. But obviously, this is a mock-up, so we shouldn't really judge it here. But the next pair I'm going to talk about is a first look. I believe it was over the weekend, and we received a first look at the Air Jordan 6 Bin 23. And as you can see from this first look, it's close to the mock-up that Z and I put out. Now, the official colorway is Off Noir, Picante Red, and Off Noir. As you can see, the pair features mostly black throughout. They feature leather up top. It appears that we have nubuck on the base, and there's a bit of red, which lands in the middle eyelet area, which is weird to me. It just doesn't look right. That also fills in the Bin 23 stamp on the heels and the stitching on the spoiler. Now, the outsoles are black. We have a red Jumpman, and then we have dark blue translucent areas. Also, with these images, we could see that it comes with special packaging. It looks like it comes with what looks to be a retro card, which I don't think it's actually a retro card. It's more like a flyer. And they'll also come with wooden shoe trees. So again, this pair will be limited. Only 2,300 pairs will be available. They will be individually numbered. And as for the release date, they are currently scheduled to drop on February 14th, so during All-Star Weekend, and the retail price will be $355. Now, I'm not sure where exactly these are going to be released. I don't expect them to hit a bunch of retailers. They could drop at Sneakers potentially, or even Foot Locker. They're doing something special for All-Star Weekend, so that could also be a place you'll be able to buy from. Recently, Teyana Taylor has given us a couple previews of her upcoming Air Jordan 3 collaboration, officially known as Concrete Rose. Now, I need to apologize to you guys because I put out a mock-up in my past videos regarding this shoe, and in the mock-up, it featured black on the upper. Now, from the preview that I saw, it did look black, but it turns out it is a dark green. So I do apologize for that. I always like to be accurate and spot on with my information, but if I'm ever wrong about something, I definitely will apologize. Now, moving on to the preview, we can only see from the top down, kind of like a bird's eye view. That's in one photo, and then the other photo is a picture of her sitting on a bench, and really you can just see the front of the shoes. But from the photos, we could see that the pair does feature vines around it. Those are going to be removable, but it does wrap the shoes. Now, the nickname being Concrete Rose, it looks like around the toe, which could be the midsole. It's kind of hard to tell from these angles. It looks like cement. It also looks like there's a red rose on the tongue, and below it, it reads Tay. And from this preview, that's pretty much all we can see. Now, they are expected to feature Nike Air. I mean, most collabs do. One more thing I forgot to mention, you can see that there is gold on the eyelets. Now, I do hope photos leak soon. I know Teyana Taylor has been teasing them, as well as Jordan Brand. And with the release coming in March, she has all of February to push the shoes, show them off, and so forth. Now, the official colorway is Fur, Fire Red, Victory Green, Cement Gray, Metallic Gold, and Gum Medium Brown. Now, what I feel is a bit crazy about this shoe is the retail price. So I didn't know it before, but these are going to cost $280. Also, just so I don't forget, the release date is currently scheduled for March 4th. $280 is very steep, in my opinion. Have I spent that on shoes? Sure, I'm sure a lot of us have as well. Maybe on the resale market or something that released in the past that you wanted to pick up. So I'm not saying I wouldn't pay that for these. I just am saying that I need to get a detailed look before I make my final judgment. Being honest, I always have an issue pronouncing this brand's name, but Comme des Garçons, hopefully I did it right, under its Homme Plus line, have unveiled 2 Air Jordan 11 collaborations. This was first showcased during Paris Fashion Week, and we have one pair in all white and one pair in all black. So I'm going to go over each pair, then I'm going to talk about if they're releasing or not, and so forth. But like I mentioned, one pair is done in mainly all black. That shoe does feature some nice leather up top. Well, it looks that way. It looks like there's some white on the branding across the tongue. The Jumpman is debossed on the ankle. It does come with patent leather done in black. And then CDG's branding is debossed on the medial side by the heel. Lastly, the shoes feature a dark translucent outsole. It kind of has a blue tint to it. Maybe that's due to the lighting. Now, the second pair is the all-white one, pretty much the same as the all-black. It features a debossed Jumpman on the ankle, CDG branding on the medial side by the heel. We have the number 23. The insoles also feature CDG branding. That will be for both pairs, although I only have an image of the white pair on the insoles. And then the branding across the tongue is done in black. Now, this shoe will feature a translucent rubber outsole. Now, my opinion about both pairs, I'm going to be honest. I know it kind of falls in line of what CDG does, but they're very plain to me. The black pair reminds me of a blacked out Gamma Jordan 11, or even the Cap and Gown release, while the white pair kind of reminds me of the Silver Anniversary. Now, don't get me wrong. If both of these pairs dropped as non-collabs, I would like that. Make them a GR, available to everybody. Now, the fact that it is a CDG collab, you already know they're going to be limited and hard to obtain. Also, the retail price is going to go up quite a bit. Now, as for the release info, I did ask a couple people that I'm associated with, my sources, and they haven't heard anything. Now, that doesn't mean they're not going to release. It literally means they haven't heard anything. This could be a project that was kept under wraps and finally got leaked. Now, there's a flip side to this. SVD, some of you may have heard of them. They are a retail store based out of Spain. I believe they have locations in Barcelona and Madrid. Now, they made an IG post showing more photos of both colorways, and they said that the shoes will be available exclusively to them in fall/winter. Now, since then, SVD took it down, and I'm really upset that I didn't take a screenshot. However, I did send them a message, and I did ask them, hey, was that a typo, or are you guys actually going to be getting the shoes in fall/winter? I thought maybe they took it down because it was wrong information and they were maybe updated. But no, they confirmed they are getting them. So my assumption that they took it down is they made the announcement way too early. I also told them that I do plan on talking about it in this video and on the website. I just want to be accurate with everything so they know that I'm talking about it. They're not giving me some private information. I just want to make that clear. So according to SVD, they are getting them. Now, shout out to them. I appreciate them reaching back out to me. But again, things could change, although it does look promising that both pairs will drop. The only thing that's going to be a letdown is how limited they are and the retail price, because I believe they're going to be over $500. But again, that's not confirmed. It's just what I think. Anyways, let me know your thoughts on both colorways. Do you think both should be released? Or do you like the colorways, maybe just are not happy that it's a CDG collab? Let me know down below. Okay, in the past, I have talked about a couple upcoming Air Jordan 7 releases in 2026, and one of the pairs will be known as the Air Jordan 7 Tennis Day. Now, before anybody gets upset, this is only a mock-up. I have not seen them. However, I do have details about the shoe, not just the colorway, but the inspiration and so forth. Now, before this, it was Phantom and multicolor. Jordan Brand was trying to hide it, but I have received the official colorway, which is Phantom, Lemon Twist, Pink Blast, and Anthracite. Now, to some of you, this pair might have a 90s vibe to it. At least it does to me. Now, the reason for that is some of the inspiration for this shoe, because there's a couple things, is that the colorway is inspired by the Air Tech Challenge. It doesn't say which Air Tech Challenge, but I'm assuming it's the Air Tech Challenge 2, because another detail about this pair is that it'll have splatter detailing. So the Air Tech Challenge 2 is known for the lava style splatter detailing on part of the midsole. Also, according to what I saw, the other inspiration is from Tennis Day colors. Again, that could be 90s type vibes, or even inspired by the Air Tech Challenge, which I already mentioned, and Big City Energy, which I have no idea what that consists of. Now, the pair will have splatter detailing. I'm not sure exactly where. I'm assuming it's going to be on the midsole. The pair will also feature mesh underlays, nubuck overlays, and fat laces. Now, the timing of this release appears that it's being released for the US Open. The US Open takes place between August 23rd and September 13th, and it's being played in New York. And the release date for this pair is September 9th. So they're dropping right before the tournament's over. Also, the retail price will be $215. They're dropping in adult sizing as well as grade school sizes, and the retail price for grade school sizes is $155. Okay, so the next pair is the Air Jordan 3 Middle East. Now, what's shown is a mock-up. However, I did see a preview photo, but it was kind of blurry. It wasn't the best. So I don't want to say this is accurate because there's definitely details that I can't make out that this shoe does have, which I'll explain. But from what I could see is that the shoe will feature a white upper, and it looks like a purple hue on part of the midsole. Now, the tongue on the shoe will have some sort of special branding. It was blurry, so I couldn't make it out. Definitely look different than the Jumpman logo. And the pair is also expected to have Nike Air. Now, this shoe was labeled Gel, which is G-E-L. And you guys might remember the regional pack Air Jordan 11. All of those shoes behind the scenes were also labeled Gel. So I do believe that this will be another regional release. Now, I'm not saying they're only releasing in the Middle East because I don't have that confirmation, but I do believe that they're only dropping in certain parts of the world. But I did notice that where they're being released, because this shoe will be on the limited side, is the sneakers app and neighborhood retailers. Now, to my knowledge, the United States is the only area that neighborhood retailers are, unless they expanded on that, and I haven't heard about it, which there is a possibility. Maybe they didn't make a public announcement. It would be odd that it would be a regional release, but still dropping in the US. Maybe they'll drop in the US, the Middle East, and a couple other areas around the globe. Either way, I should be getting another update on these soon. And as for the release info, I don't have a specific release date, but they are expected to drop in December. And the retail price will be $215. Also dropping in December, we had the release of the Air Jordan 4 Bin 23. Now, what's shown is a mock-up. Again, I did see a preview, but the photo was not that great, so I am nowhere near comfortable saying this is accurate or even close. But I do have some details about this shoe. You might be wondering about the image in the background and so forth. It all ties in, believe me. Now, before I move forward, I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Unloved Ones. He helped track the official colorway down, because the reason why I haven't leaked it, Z Sneakerhead Z and I, is we didn't have the colorway, and what we saw was so blurry, it was hard to tell. But the colorway is fauna brown and multicolor. So again, they are trying to hide the actual colorway with multicolor. But from my sources, I did hear that it will have a white sole, midsole I should say, and red branding. So I do think the Bin 23 branding will be red, of course. As for some of the details, this pair is inspired by the Wild West. So that's why you see MJ in the background in a cowboy hat and so forth. Also, I was told that the shoes will feature a ton of suede, as well as high grain leather on the panels. Obviously, this mock-up pretty much has leather throughout. So another reason why this isn't an accurate look. Now, as far as this pair being limited, yes, they will be. I just can't confirm if only 2,300 pairs will be released. I'm going to assume that is going to be the case. But again, that's not confirmed, just for the simple fact I haven't heard about it yet. But the other 3 Bin 23 releases are limited to 2,300 pairs, so I would assume, again, this would be one of them. Also, the retail price is expected to be $355. And Jordan Brand is definitely trying to come after your Christmas money, because these are currently scheduled to drop on December 26th, so just a day after Christmas. You know, from the preview I saw, it reminded me of the Air Jordan 4 Premium, the wheat colorway, with the exception of it having a little bit of red, a white sole, and mesh detailing. I never really cared for that pair, but that doesn't mean when I get better photos and I'm able to put out an accurate mock-up that these might look really nice, and maybe some of you may like it as well. But if they drop just like this mock-up, no, I'm definitely passing, and you can let me know your thoughts about it down in the comment section below. And that's going to do it for this video. Like always, greatly appreciate you guys for watching. If you have a second and haven't done so already, also appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. One more thing, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you can be alerted every time I drop a new video. Now, I do plan on dropping another video, I believe on Friday. So on Sunday, I ordered a new mic, and that will be here Thursday. So I'm super excited about it getting here. My video on Friday will hopefully be using the new mic unless something goes wrong. Kind of has more of a deeper podcast-like vibe to it. So as you can tell, I'm excited about it. So other than that, I do believe I'm going to drop a short. I believe I have 1 or 2 more left to complete all of the Air Jordan releasing series. I am combining some of the stuff, and then I'm going to move on to foam posits. I'll probably do Kobe's, even though a couple have already dropped. Probably will include some retro Nike basketball shoes as well. But if there's anything you would like to see, let me know down below. Now for this video, let me know what you liked or disliked down below as well. If you have any questions, make sure to leave those down below. Again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned to SneakerFiles.com. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe.